Shall we jump on to the blind man in a dark room and Pool C, my friend?
Knives out, Daniel Craig pick. Style. Let's go. Pool C. All right, I'll kick us off with Pool C. All right. Pool C, Australia versus Georgia. Australia wins. First win of 2023. Australia takes it and takes it comfortably. I'm going to say. And everyone starts looking at the Wallabies. Wales versus Fiji. Fiji wins. Fiji takes first blood in their run at the Rugby World Cup. Wales versus Portugal. Wales come out and steamroll Portugal. They're frustrated. They know that they needed to win that game against Fiji, and they didn't do it. So they take it out on the hapless Portuguese, who are consoled by some very tasty chicken burgers. Australia versus Fiji. This is the game of Pool C. Australia, though, wins this game because they have the flying Fijian Marika Korobete, and he will score some spectacular tries in this game to essentially seal the pool for Australia. Georgia versus Portugal. Georgia comes out and has a fantastic game, and they will beat the Portuguese. Wales versus Australia. The hopes and dreams of the Welsh, frail though they may be, given they live in a damp and dreary country, are shattered once more by the Wallabies, who are on a roll by this stage, who are just looking like world beaters, who are looking fantastic. Fiji versus Georgia. This will be one of the closest games of the pool. I think this will be even better than Fiji versus Wales, and I think Fiji will take it in a tight one. I think it'll be less than a try score differential. Australia versus Portugal. They're sitting pretty. They've got the pool where they want it. I think they rest a lot of players, and they get themselves a good break ahead of the quarterfinals because they have the last week of this pool off. They rest their players, and they take care of business against the Portuguese. Wales versus Georgia. I have Wales winning this one, although, again, I believe it will be very tight. And then Fiji round out the pool by beating Portugal and thus coming second in the pool. So I have Australia, Fiji, Georgia, Wales, Portugal. Oh, sorry, Wales, Georgia, Portugal.
Oh, yeah. So Wales finished third.
Wales finished third, Georgia finished fourth.
Nice. Yep, back in your Aussies, you've got to do that.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to start off Pool C, the blind leading the blind here. I think Australia get the job done against Georgia. I don't think it's as convincing as you say it is. I think it's they got to win. They got to win. It wasn't pretty. It was one of those 31-17, 31-21 wins where you gutted it out and you showed some courage and heart. And what we needed to see from this Aussie team, I don't think it's as convincing as you may have said it. But saying that, it's a win's a win. A win is a win in the Rugby World Cup.
Win's a win.
And talking about a win being a win, Fiji versus Wales. Fiji pick up a famous win, throwback to 2007, I believe it was, where Wales last lost to Fiji at a Rugby World Cup. Actually, they may have done it in 2015 as well. I don't know. But I know they definitely lost in 2007. So Fiji get the win there. Like you said, Wales back it up against Portugal and beat Portugal. Australia then face Fiji. Now, Australia, the dust is settled. They've finally got a win. Wasn't convincing. I think Fiji have a convincing win against Wales, and I think Fiji, 7 days later, does the unthinkable and beats Australia. And
can't believe it.
Yep. Australia lose to Fiji on the 17th of September local time. We then see Georgia beat Portugal. I think Portugal are the Romania of this pool. Wales and Australia now have it all to play for because, hey, we've both lost to Fiji, both backs against the wall, and I think this is where we see the true green and gold courage come alive. I think Aussie finally get the performance they've been looking for, and they put Wales to the sword. I'm thinking like a 40-5 win. Just an absolute dominant performance. Fiji then ticks the box against Georgia. This is one where I'm really not confident. I think Fiji and Georgia both play a very similar style. Georgia, I really like the look of this Georgian team, and it wouldn't surprise me if they really pushed you guys a long way in that first game. We then see Australia dominate Portugal. Again, Portugal being the battering rams. Wales and Georgia, doesn't really matter, but I have Georgia winning. So Wales finish 4th, and Fiji wrap it up against Portugal. So I
was really tossing up that Welsh-Georgia game as well.
Totally. Georgia's the team there that I'm like, I'm only picking them to beat Wales and Portugal. But if there's a team that could beat either Fiji or Australia as well, Wales could do it too. This is, what am I talking about? I've closed my eyes and I've just chucked a dart at a dartboard and hope for the best. Yeah. But I've gone Fiji, the Wallabies, Georgia, Wales, Portugal is my pool C.
Look, I would say it's ridiculous. It's not ridiculous, but I fundamentally disagree.
Yeah, I get that. You have to. That's like, someone said, like, if you told me Italy was going to win our pool, I'd be like, you're a fucking idiot. But I will say, if I had said this 6 months ago, you could have put me in an insane asylum. This has only happened in the past 6 months with what Fiji has done. And I actually saw on another podcast, Sealy Talk Sport and James Marshall, who does, don't even know what the podcast he does is, but What a Lad. There we go. We're talking about this, and it's really interesting to see the rise of Fiji and even Samoa and Tonga. And I know the eligibility laws have changed, but Japan no longer in Super Rugby. Japan has benefited obviously from players choosing to play in Japanese rugby and then having eligibility changes. That it seems like the rest of the Pacific nations have started to catch up with what Japan was doing and now able to do it and just about do it better. So I did think, I was like, I'm picking Fiji to win a pool. It's a pretty big pick.